Hello everyone, and welcome to my bold and the beautiful spoilers. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. What's going on the intense and the lovely today? With such a lot of show every step of the way in this imaginary town of Los Angeles, it's occasionally difficult to stay aware of the day-to-day episodes as a whole. That is the reason we are giving you a midweek update on the things been going on, the intense and the wonderful. Continue perusing underneath for all that you want to be aware. What's going on the intense and the wonderful today? For the people who need a little boost of what's been happening this week on the intense and the wonderful, Zend left for the absolute last time at Forrester Manifestations after he was feeling pretty deceived and shattered. In the event that weren't sufficient, it appears as though Bill is being attracted increasingly more to Luna subsequent to perusing the letters she's been shipping off him from prison. Likewise, Carter and Edge have been clashing while Luna's little stunt has been misfiring on her. Remy will stay quiet about his arrangements from Will while Minister will be compelled to protect himself. Broke is additionally going to be torn as Eric and Edge will fight over Trust Logan and the eventual fate of the organization. Remy will pursue a game-changing choice, while Brooke will lash out at Edge during the very time that he goes after her girl Trust. It won't be pretty without a doubt. The intense and the delightful spoilers, epic showdown. Furthermore, balancing the week for the Friday, December 13th episode, Trust and Carter will step into power at Forrester Manifestations while the Forrester and Logans will conflict in a high-stakes fight for control. You won't have any desire to miss any of this. The strong and the delightful airs workdays on the CBS organization. Actually take a look at your nearby postings for times. Much obliged to you for being a peruser of Cleanser Spoiler. What is your take of this story? Get in contact with us with your viewpoints in our remarks segment underneath. Likewise, return here as the need might arise to be familiar with your number one VIPs and individuals from the English Imperial family. Zend Forrester, feeling sold out and grief-stricken, makes his exit from Forrester Manifestations. His choice to leave follows a profound feeling of treachery, and his takeoff denotes a defining moment for the two's own and proficient life. Leaves the Forrester family managing the aftermath of his choice. Charge Spencer is turning out to be more charmed by Luna. As he keeps on getting letters from her while she's in prison, it seems like their association is developing further. Will Bill succumb to Luna, or will what is happening make more intricacies for him? Strains between Carter Walton and Edge Forrester arrive at a limit. The two men have been conflicting as of late, and it seems like their quarrel is just heightening, particularly over Forrester Manifestations and individual loyalties. This continuous pressure will undoubtedly cause more clash, particularly as the stakes ascend inside the organization. Remy's mysteries and Minister's protection. In the present episode, Remy Price keeps on maintaining mysteries from Will Spencer, which works up strain. In the meantime, Elder Sharp is compelled to protect himself after certain issues emerge that compromise his business. These improvements could push Minister to settle on a few difficult choices. Brooke conflicted between Eric and Edge. Brooke Logan ends up in a troublesome position today as she is conflicted between Eric and Edge Forrester. The two men are in conflict over Trust Logan and her future with Forrester Manifestations. Expect a warmed conflict, particularly as Brooke's loyalties are tried. Friday's show, Trust and Carter assume responsibility. Looking forward to Friday, the fight for control at Forrester Manifestations increases. Trust Logan and Carter Walton will step into strong positions, however, this move will put them straightforwardly in conflict with other relatives. The Forrester and Logan families will conflict in a high-stakes battle for control that you won't have any desire to miss. Luna demands she isn't who her activities demonstrated her to be when Bill at long last plunks down with her. She has been in a correctional facility for quite a long time, composing letters to him day to day. At first, he consumed them. In any case, he opened one, and presently he will sit before the young woman he accepted was his little girl and the person who killed two individuals to guarantee nobody figured out she wasn't a Spencer. She isn't the only one with abhorrent expectations. Remy flies off the handle when Elektra lets him know they are companions. He demands they are more than companions, which shocks her. Electra pursued from her old neighborhood photographs of her, flowed, that weren't genuine. She had her head on a body that wasn't hers, and everybody was examining it. The deepfake pictures caused her pressure, and she believed that approaching to Los Angeles with Ivette. Tragically, Electra has no clue about that Remy is logical behind what occurred, and his fixation is just developing. Carter Walton is taking an intense action as he ventures into a conspicuous job at Forrester Manifestations. Regardless of Edge Forrester's endeavors to get him out of the LLC circumstance by recruiting Justin, there's no pushing Carter out. The acknowledgement that Forrester Manifestations is at this point not under their full control hits Edge and Steffy hard. Edge's dissatisfaction bubbles over, and he goes up against Carter, blaming him for selling out the Forrester family for trust. Carter isn't withdrawing, and he cautions Edge to be cautious with his words. This conflict makes way for a much greater fight for control of the organization. In the meantime, Brooke Logan is surprised when she discovers that Carter recorded the desk work to give trust power at Forrester Manifestations. Brooke is left dazed by Carter's activities and the effect they will have on her family, particularly as Edge's outrage keeps on raising. As Edge keeps on blowing up, he blames Carter for discarding all that for trust, who remains by her new playmate. This prompts a strained stalemate where Edge compromises Carter, flagging that their conflict is not even close to finished. Edge is resolved not to allow Carter to leave sound, but rather Carter is prepared to persevere. The standoff over control at Forrester Manifestations arrives at a breaking point on Friday, December 13th. Trust and Carter will declare their power, yet their activities make certain to start a high-stakes fight with the Forrester and Logan families trapped in the center. With strains rising, expect a sensational conflict that will shape the eventual fate of the organization. Somewhere else, Luna's history takes a dim turn when Bill Spencer at last plunks down with her. She demands she isn't the individual her previous activities could propose. Luna has been sending Bill letters from prison for quite a long time, and despite the fact that he at first disregarded them, one letter grabbed his eye. Bill currently stands up to her about her past, including the stunning disclosure that she isn't the Spencer girl she once professed to be. In one more sensational contort, Remy Price's fixation on Electra Forrester heightens. At the point when Electra alludes to him as a companion, Remy demands they're more than companions, which shocks her. Electra's pained past, including deepfake pictures that made her escape her old neighborhood, convolutes matters. She doesn't understand that Remy might be behind the outrage, and his fixation on her is just developing, making way for future struggle. The forthcoming week guarantees unstable showdowns, dim privileged insights, and moving coalitions. As Carter and Trust challenge the Forrester families hang on the organization, different characters, including Luna and Remy, carry their own turns to the show. Try not to miss the most recent improvements in this thrilling 7-day stretch of the striking and the lovely. The strong and the wonderful spoilers bother that the week ahead will be loaded up with elevated strains as Carter ventures into his job at Forrester Manifestations. It was resolved that in spite of Edge employing Justin to get him out of the LLC circumstance, it was basically impossible to push Carter out. Carter perseveres. Sadly for Edge and Steffy, Carter is prepared to step in immediately. As the acknowledgement that Forrester Manifestations is at this point not theirs to run, Edge gets considerably more bombshell. In the interim, Brooke discovers that Carter documented the administrative work from Trust, and she looks on, puzzled. A flip of the scene shows Edge shouting at Carter for discarding all that for Trust as she remains behind her new lover. That remark prompts Carter to tell Edge he better watch what he says, to which the Forrester beneficiary compromises that he won't allow Carter to pull off this. Friday's show, Trust and Carter assume responsibility. Looking forward to Friday, the fight for control at Forrester Manifestations escalates. Trust Logan and Carter Walton will step into strong positions, yet this move will put them straightforwardly in conflict with other relatives. The Forrester and Logan families will conflict in a high-stakes battle for control that you won't have any desire to miss. Luna demands she isn't who her activities demonstrated her to be when Bill at long last plunks down with her. She has been in a correctional facility for quite a long time, composing letters to him every day. At first, he consumed them. Be that as it may, he opened one, and presently he will sit before the young woman he accepted was his little girl and the person who killed two individuals to guarantee nobody figured out she wasn't a Spencer. She isn't the only one with fiendish expectations. Remy flies off the handle when Elektra lets him know they are companions. He demands they are more than companions, which astounds her. Elektra pursued from her old neighborhood photographs of her coursed that weren't genuine. She had her head on a body that wasn't hers, and everybody was examining it. The deep fake pictures caused her pressure, and she felt that approaching to Los Angeles with Ivet. Tragically, Elektra has no clue about that Remy is possible behind what occurred, and his fixation is just developing.